Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, Marcelo invested $2,250 in a saving account with a compound interest rate of 8% per year for 6 years. He has no withdrawals or deposits in the bank account. What is the range of the function that represents this situation? Okay, so we're going to be looking for the range, right? And we want to see how would you represent that. Now you got to keep in mind that when we talk about range, that means we're talking about the y values. Is that right? And if I was to be thinking about domain, then that would be the x value. So right now, I know that we're talking about that this is going to happen for how many years? For 6 years, right? So the number of years is actually our domain, okay? So every year that goes by is going to affect how much money is in the account, which is the y values, okay? So it says that he kind of invested, right, 2,250. That means that's how much money he is going to start the account with. That's what we call the starting value. Is that right? So in the account, he's not starting with $0. He's actually starting with $2,250, right? So the least amount of money that he's going to have in the account then is going to be $2,250 because that's how much money he's going to what? Start with, right? So now the question is, and we're talking about the range. Remember, the range has to do with the y values, right? And I want to know how much money he's going to have at the end of 6 years. Is that right? Okay, so this will be after 6 years. And this is the number that we do not know. We don't know how much money he's going to have after 6 years, right? But we do know that when he invested, he's using a compound interest. Is that right? So the formula for compound, I don't know if you remember that, but there's a formula that we can use that it says A equals P parentheses 1 plus R to the T power. And R is the rate that they are using for the interest, and the T, it's the time in years. Is that right? So let's start. We have A equals P, it's how much money he started with, which is $2,250. 1 plus the rate is the percent that they're using, which is 8%. But of course, we cannot use it as a percent. We have to change it to a decimal. And the decimal will be 0.08. So that's the number that goes inside the parentheses. And the years, it's 6 years, right? That's the time. So you write down a 6 on the top. Okay? So if you want to input all that on the calculator, let's see what you guys get. So we have $3,570.46, but if you round it, kind of like 47 cents, right? That's how much money he's going to finish with, okay? So that number, I'm going to write it down over here, okay? And Y, remember, Y is the range that we're talking about, which is the money in the account. So the money in the account needs to be greater than 2,250. So this one gets 2 cookies, right? But it can also be equals to. So we put the little line on the bottom, okay? Now, but it needs to be less than $3,570.47. So we're going to use the less than symbol. And also it will be the equal sign on the bottom, right? So that will be my answer. So we need to find out how much money he's going to finish after the 6 years. And we need to know how much money he's going to start with, right? And once we do that, we look at the answer choices. And yep, we have letter C as an answer.